Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy TF, and I'm here to discuss Steven Universe, the movie. Now, as an active viewer of Steven Universe for the past 5 seasons, having watched a show that first aired way back in 2013, I have to say, I never thought we'd see our favorite cheeseburger backpack cookie cat preteen finally grown up. Not only did he bring peace between the homeworld and the Earth, but the galaxy as a whole, making him a savior of both worlds. And he did it all with the neck, which is a feat that even Krillin couldn't accomplish. The movie serves as an epilogue of the original story of Steven Universe and marks the end of his journey uncovering his mother's truth. Now, it's been a long adventure for Steven, as he now gets to live out his happily ever after during a state of universal peace. However, his peace was short-lived after uttering the worst statement any protagonist can ever say: "I wish things would stay the same." Immediately after this, a new threat surfaces, as a long-lost friend of Pink Diamond, Spindel, enters the fray. A gem that we have never encountered before that now threatens the peace that took Steven 2 years to develop. Now, I bet you already know how this goes. On surface level, it looks like this unknown gem wants to beat down our protagonist in revenge. But it's much deeper than that. Now, an average watcher in the movie would assume that Spindel is the main antagonist and only see her at a surface level. However, fans of the show know that the true villain is the careless and misguided actions of Pink Diamond. However, I'm going to stick towards more reviewing the movie and not the entire story of Steven Universe. Now, the movie does an amazing job of getting right into the main conflict caused by Spindel's actions. She gets right to business by beginning to drill her injector into the Earth and wastes no time in taking down the crystal gems. She does this by using her rejuvenator sight, which puts any gem unfortunate enough to get in contact with it to revert back to the default settings. Not to mention, she also has a giant injector pumping poisonous fluids into the Earth that's set to destroy not only Beach City, but the entire world. Now, the conflict between the crystal gems and Spindel shift very quickly into the movie, as we see Spindel before she turned into a villain as she reverted to her original state. You see, Spindel's character is very silly, obnoxious, and innocent, much like a young child looking for a friend to play with. And at this point, her only interest was to have fun with her best friend, Steven, and she clearly wanted nothing more but to have Steven alter herself. However, Spindel clearly has abandonment issues that flares up, especially when Steven starts showing more interest in bringing back Amethyst, Pearl, and Garnet than being with her. This makes Spindel go insane as she starts exhibiting strange feelings of sadness and emptiness as she once felt before. And as Steven Universe fans should know, the majority of the villains have a redemption arc, and that's exactly what happened with Spindel. We find out her motives as to why she wants to wipe out the Earth and Steven along with it. You see, Spindel was Pink Diamond's best friend back in the day. However, once Pink Diamond wanted to take over a colony of her own, she couldn't continue to act childish in front of the other diamonds. So pretty much imagine it like you throwing out your childhood toy, or in this case a friend, in order to look more mature. So she simply abandoned Spindel by making her wait for her return for over 6,000 years. She then ends up catching the live stream of Steven being crowned the new Pink Diamond, as Steven says he's now heading back towards Earth. Feeling abandoned and lost, Spindel sunk into a deep depression as she realizes that she is a loser of the game that Steven never knew he was playing. And that's what kicks off Spindel crashing her injector into the Earth and ultimately wanting to destroy Steven. This sets up the climax for the movie as you see Spindel helping out Steven by ejecting her injector from the Earth. Say that 5 times fast. But then we get another glimpse of Spindel feeling abandoned again, since Steven turns his attention away from Spindel in favor of fixing Garnet and the Earth, which ultimately elevates the tension and conflict between Spindel and the other crystal gems. Spindel sends her injector crashing into the Earth once again, this time pumping all the poison fluids into the Earth, destroying Beach City. Steven then confronts Spindel as they continue to fight each other. Spindel obviously has the upper hand since Steven's powers have reverted back to season 1. That is until Spindel puts Steven in a situation where it forces him to confront his core belief of having everything stay the same. He goes through a checklist of what made him the hero he was today. All the moments of growth, revelations, and all the conflict he had to go through to become the person he is today. That's when he realizes the most important power he possessed way back in season 1, which is his power to bring change. This puts all the pieces together to bring back his powers as he exhibits abilities we as an audience are already aware of, as well as new abilities he's honed since the end of season 5. This made it possible for Steven to convince Spindel to calm down, as even Spindel wonders why she's attacking Steven. And this is when the injector blows up and Steven saves Spindel from the impact. Soon after, the diamonds come down to Earth and Steven reintroduces Spindel to the diamonds, where they take her in with open arms, as she's intended to replace Pink Diamond since she reminds them of her old childhood state. So in the end, Spindel gets her happily ever after, and Steven accepts that life will change, which is a core value within Steven Universe itself. Everything stays right where you left it, but it still changes. And that's the end of Steven Universe the movie. Now, every arc that Steven Universe had in the past 5 seasons have officially come to a close. This movie definitely serves as an epilogue to the initial story that Rebecca Sugar set out to complete all those years ago. The movie is filled with amazing fan service, such as Greg and Steven's JoJo fusion, by showing off all the revelations that cause each character to reform into their current state, and all the musical numbers jam-packed into this movie. The music was outstanding to say the least, and the movie as a whole transitioned itself very seamlessly. You can tell this movie was handled with the utmost care, and it really goes far. It was also treated to air in theaters, thus they held an early screening a week before the television premiere. This was meant to have fans feel the true weight of the show, making it feel like a true event you wouldn't want to miss out. And even though Steven Universe the movie has left a lot of unanswered questions, it's best to believe that we will dive more into that during season 6. Now, this movie as a whole just might be the best Cartoon Network movie produced, well, second best so far. I mean, nobody came close to beating the Big Picture show, but Steven Universe the movie is definitely my second favorite. However, if you watch the movie, I would love to know your thoughts on the movie as well. So if you have any theories, feel free to drop some in the comment section below. And just like always, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm TF, and I'm out. See ya.